Hello and welcome to the Lazy Book Club podcast, the book club for those who don't want to read or leave the house. My name is Matt Gonzalez.
I'm David Cox.
And I'm Josh Matheson.
And today we are looking at Chapter 3 of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Josh, do you want to remind us of the title?
Yeah, Chapter 3, A Caucus Race and a Long Tail.
And actually think about it, do you want to remind us what happened last week?
Yeah, there was quite a lot. Quite a lot happened in Chapter 2. So we started with Alice growing very, very tall after eating the cake.
And saying goodbye to her feet.
So she's in the Hall
yeah.
of Doors. She said goodbye to her feet. It's a whole thing about feet. And then she was super tall. Rabbit comes back, drops some gloves and a fan on the floor in a very flamboyant fashion we're imagining.
Yeah.
And then runs off again. And then she picks up the fan and the gloves. And then
she starts crying when she's big.
Oh,
Because that's why you get the gallons.
Oh, yeah.
Because she couldn't get in the garden.
She's
now
9
too
feet
big.
tall.
Yeah, she's now too big
crying,
for the door.
And then she realises there's like a whole puddle at her feet of tears. Then she realises that she's holding the fan and the glove fits on her hand, so she must have shrunk a bit. And then she gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And then she realises it's the fan that's doing it. So she's like, panic, throws that on the floor, stops before she's like too tiny. Now she's more than small enough to get through the door, but she's got the issue of the key still on the table. So she's got that struggle to deal with.
And then she falls in the water.
And now she's fallen in the puddle of her own tears. And then she sees a mouse swimming around.
Garçon.
A French mouse.
A French mouse.
French mouse, apparently.
The William Conqueror mouse.
William Conqueror mouse. And
then a load of other...
And then a bunch of birds
and a lorry turned up.
And a lorry. Not the bird. I mean, the bird.
It is a bird.
It is a bird.
Guys, don't get confused.
And then they all swam to shore, I think is where we left it, right?
Yeah, I think we just left it with Alice swims to shore and everybody else kind of follows
the whole
her.
Gaggle of
With the gaggle of birds.
She's not alone anymore.
No.
Hopefully she won't be doing any more.
You're not alone.
She's no longer alone.
Beautiful thing. So we dive into chapter 3
go
then?
straight there, yeah.
We're going to get
let's go.
Chapter 3, A Caucus Race and a Long Tail. They were indeed a queer-looking party that assembled on the bank. The birds with bedraggled feathers and animals with their fur clinging close to them and all dripping, wet, cross and uncomfortable.
The use of the word cross. It's a word that is not used enough anymore.
Yes, I quite like
it's
that.
I don't know if any of the younger generation would ever use that going, I'm just really cross.
Very cross with you. The first question, of course, was how to get dry again. They had a consultation about this, and after a few minutes, it seemed quite natural to Alice to find herself talking familiarly with them, as if she had known them all her life. Indeed, she had quite a long argument with the lorry, who at last turned sulky and would only say...
Beep!
would only say, what the... The lorry's about to speak. Have you not got...
He's got to be from New Jersey, I think.
Okay.
Do better than me, but yeah.
You're going to throw in that.
Fine.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
It's just great.
From Jersey.
Good. Indeed, she had quite a long argument with the lorry, who at last turned sulky and would only say, hey, I'm older than you and I must know better.
Love it.
And this Alice...
I'm walking here.
I don't know why my hand is so important here. And this Alice would not allow without knowing how old it was. And as the lorry positively refused to tell its age, there was no more to be said. At last, the mouse, who seemed to be a person of authority among them, called out, sit down, all of you, and listen to me. I'll soon make you dry enough. They all sat down at once in a large ring with the mouse in the middle. Alice kept her eyes anxiously fixed on it, for she felt she would catch a bad cold if she did not get dry very soon. Ahem, said the mouse with an important air. Are you all ready? This is the driest thing I know. Silence all around, if you please. William the Conqueror is back, whose cause was favoured by the Pope, was soon submitted to by the English, who wanted leaders and had been of late much accustomed to usurpation and conquest. Edwin and Morcar, the Earls of Mercia and Northumbria.
He's going to die of being Frenchy.
I'm gonna go.
He's just going to go.
I
I am melting.
Okay.
What was the cause of death? Too French.
There was too much French in Northumbria. And hang on a minute, I've got the challenge here. The Laurie says just one sound. I'm going to make it sound like it's from the... He says, ugh. I don't know. Ugh. Ugh, said the Laurie with a shiver. I beg your pardon, said the mouse, frowning, but very politely. Did you speak? Not I, said the Laurie hastily. I thought you did, said the mouse. I proceed. Edwin and Marker, the Earls of Mercier and Northumbria, declared for him, and even Stigand, the patriotic Archbishop of Canterbury, found it advisable. There's a duck here. Can we?
Oh, okay. You do your duck sound again.
What does the duck sound?
Oh, the duck's voice. As I said, I love the Welsh accent.
Right.
Can we do a Welsh?
I mean, fine.
I mean, we're really making it difficult for you.
It's a minor character. I don't know if you want to...
Oh, he's the Welsh. Mine.
Oh, sorry, I'm late, everybody.
He's a Welsh miner.
Too much coal down the other side of the corridor. Sorry, listeners in the south of Wales, for any offence caused. I don't presume.
Okay, well, we can do it. We can do it well, so that's fine. Okay.
Yeah, no, do it. I'm sure we won't use the Welsh accent for anybody else, so just do it. I just want to get it in there.
I'll just back up. I proceed. Edwin and Marker, the Earls of Mercier and Northumbria, declared for him, and even Stigand, the patriotic Archbishop of Canterbury, found it advisable. Found what? Said the duck. Found it, the mouse replied rather crossly. Of course, you know what it means. I know what it means well enough. When I find a thing, said the duck, it's generally a frog or a worm. The question is, what did the Archbishop find?
I know this one.
What?
Isn't that a joke?
I don't know.
What did the bishop say to the... Oh, I don't know.
Oh, the actress said to the bishop?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I thought you were going to reveal the plot. I was like, I think we're going to...
no.
Oh, I know where this one goes.
I don't know. I just thought he was setting up for a punchline.
No, very good.
They're actually just... It's like a stand-up comedy circuit.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what this is. He's doing crowd call-out.
What we don't know is the mouse is actually doing some stand-up and all the birds are pissing themselves.
It's
Alex is just
hilarious.
like...
I don't know what's happening.
I don't know any history.
The mouse did not notice this question, but hurriedly went on. Found it advisable to go with Edgar Attending to meet William and offer him the crown. William's conduct at first was moderate, but the insolence of his Normans... How are you getting on now, my dear? It continued, turning to Alice as it spoke. As wet as ever, said Alice in a melancholy tone. It doesn't seem dry to me at all. I need a dodo. Got a dodo voice.
So hang on. He's just talking about William the Conqueror and
he's telling a dry story and I hope
right, okay.
Did you miss it? He said this is the driest thing I know.
Sorry.
Oh right.
I thought he was going to teach them like some secret that they used on the ships when they sailed.
No. He's
to get dry.
He's telling them a dry story.
I have a theory.
Okay.
Lewis Carroll had a word count and he didn't meet it actually because this chapter has been boring. It's like...
So dry is a pun. He's basically using...
It's a long one, mate.
It is
All
a
right.
very long
Just
pun.
thinking ahead, can I have a dodo and an eaglet voice, please? I don't know what I'm doing.
Can the dodo just be really like bored?
Great.
I don't want to like waste too many regions.
No, sure.
Yeah. No, I get
Dodo's
that.
just really bored.
Yeah, we can give him like a personality
disposition.
rather than an
A
accent.
disposition.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
And
I
the
like
eaglet?
that. Well, I'm guessing eaglet just because he's probably means he's young. So can we just make him like ultra keen? Just like really happy to be there.
Let's go for it. Let's
Okay.
just see how
He's
that
on
works.
something.
All right. As wet as ever, said Alice. Oh, wait. She said it in a melancholy tone.
Oh.
Let me just going to go. As wet as ever, said Alice in a melancholy tone. Doesn't seem to dry me at all. In that case, said the dodo solemnly, rising to its feet, I move that the meeting adjourn for the immediate adoption of more energetic remedies. Speak English, said the eaglet. I don't know the meaning of half those long words, and what's more, I don't believe you do either. And the eaglet bent down its head to hide a smile.
I feel like I'm watching The Vicar of Dibley. You know when they have those parish meetings
Yeah.
and you just got like
It's
Jim
Jay
on
or-
the end,
yeah.
and Hugo or whatever, the really ultra like plucky guy.
There you go. And the eaglet bent down its head to hide a smile. Some of the other birds tittered audibly. Good.
There
Excellent.
wasn't a tit.
Thank you. It wasn't quite a tit,
It
but
wasn't.
what I was going to say, said the dodo in an offended tone, was that the best thing to get us dry would be a Caucus race. What is a Caucus race? Said Alice. Not that she was.
I'm with Alice, mate.
We're unfamiliar
Is it
territory.
like a caucus and like part of an election?
Oh, I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Like
You're a.
you hold a. I know I've got a politics degree, but I feel like
I was thinking Caucasian.
I feel like caucus.
Like, they're just like,
They're gonna have a white people race.
yeah, that's what this is about.
It's a race issue.
Yeah, hang on, caucus. A meeting at which local members of a political party register their preference among candidates running for office. Yeah.
Right. Well, this is
A conference of members of a legislative body who belong to a particular party or faction. So, yeah, that's why I was like, I swear this is a
basically,
political...
Great.
So they're going to hold an election.
I don't know. It seemed. Well, let's find out. What is a Caucus race? Said Alice. Not that she much wanted to know, but the dodo had paused, as if it thought that somebody ought to speak, and no one else seemed inclined to say anything. Why? Said the dodo. The best way to explain it is to do it. And, as you might like to try the thing yourself some winter day, I will tell you how the dodo managed it. First, it marked out the racecourse in a sort of circle. The exact shape doesn't matter, it said. And then all the party were placed along the racecourse here and there. There was no 1, 2, 3 and away, but they began running as they liked and left off where they liked, so that it was not easy to know when the race was over. However, when they had been running for half an hour or so, they were quite dry again. So the dodo suddenly called, "The race is over." And they all crowded round it, panting and asking, "But who has won?" This question the dodo could not answer without a great deal of thought, and it stood for a long time with one finger pressed upon its forehead, the position in which you usually see Shakespeare in pictures of him.
Is that like that? On the chin? No.
on his forehead. I don't know. Did
Really?
Shakespeare do
I
that?
thought like that was the standard actor pose, the kind of on the chin.
Yes, but Shakespeare is not an actor. I don't know.
It's true, but...
I don't know.
I don't know.
So they've just had a race. They've not marked a beginning.
Or an end.
Everyone started in a
They've
different
basically
place.
run around in circles for half an hour and now they're dry.
That would get you dry though. Like the dodo is absolutely right.
Oh, yeah, no, it's
Run around
true.
until it got rid of all the drip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's a disaster.
Better than telling a story like that.
I know.
That's
that was
not going to
horrendous.
work.
Stupid mouse. Anyway, the dodo stood for a long time with one finger pressed upon his forehead in the position in which you usually see Shakespeare in pictures of him, while the rest waited in silence. At last, the dodo said, "Everybody has won, and all must have prizes."
Is this the beginning of the participation award? Lewis called it before when the millennial generation was born
That's
that we
it.
all just get a prize
No
for
such
being
thing as
involved.
the winner. But who is to give the prizes? Quite a chorus of voices asked. Why, she, of course, said the dodo, pointing to Alice with one finger, and the whole party at once crowded round her, calling out in a confused way, "Prizes! Prizes!" Alice had no idea what to do, and in despair she put her hand in her pocket and pulled out a box of comfits. Luckily, the salt water had not gotten in it, and handed them round as prizes. There was exactly one apiece all round. What's a comfit?
I think it's a sweet.
Is that a sweet? What kind of sweet?
A sweet consisting of a nut, seed, or other centre coated in sugar. So it's like a sugared almond.
Oh,
or,
sugared almond. Yeah.
Or, yeah, something like that.
I'm with you.
Good for
I
kids.
hate those.
Well done, Alice.
You know
what
when-
would she have done?
But you know, like when you go to, I don't know, maybe I'm just showing my age, but that used to be the favour that everyone used to give you at
At
the
weddings.
weddings, those sugared almonds, and they were
Yeah.
rubbish.
Horrible, yeah.
They're so disgusting, and I don't know why it was like a thing. Like you just got this little bag of. I just used to suck the sugar off and throw the nut
She was
away.
planning a wedding though.
Oh
We
yes,
remember- yeah, so
it's all gone full
These
circle.
are for the wedding, but I've got a bird competition. Oh no!
Could I just say what is weird? The dodo has fingers,
Oh,
Yeah,
It says he points the finger. So, like, are we talking like Egyptian god animals here? Do they have like the heads of a dodo and the body of a human?
Maybe
like
it's
a
like-
Disney talon, which
yeah,
can
the
normally...
finger of his feather.
So it is I
don't know.
just thought it was really fun. I'm just
Yeah.
imagining just a human with a dodo
Oh yeah,
head.
because up till now the stories had no plot holes whatsoever.
No,
until we
exactly.
got to the dodo.
Well, this is
There's
what I
one
mean.
big plot hole. It's a flipping rabbit plot hole. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say there's one big plot hole in that it doesn't have a plot.
I could tell you what
many
happened in
ways.
2 sentences.
I could tell you what
What
happened,
happened?
but you know, usually when you hear a story, you can kind of decide what the person's motivation is or what they're trying to achieve. I don't like. I thought, oh, she wants to get into the garden. That seems to be completely disregarded.
Sure.
And so I'm not quite sure what Alice wants from it. Does she want to go home? Does she want to see her cat again? Does
has
she want
no-
to get
she
into the
has
garden?
no
I don't
end
know.
goal.
To be,
Literally.
this is the first time I'm sort of on her side. It's like it is pretty confusing. She's probably forgotten about the garden because of the weirdness of the
It's
things
true.
haping.
To be fair, if I fell
a
into
lorry,
a pool
an
of-
articulated lorry has fallen 4,000 miles.
an articulate lorry.
It is quite a yeah, Laurie.
I've just been on the M4. There was a tailback up to Swindon.
But she must have a prize herself, you know, said the mouse. Of course, the dodo replied very gravely. What else have you got in your pocket? It went on, turning to Alice. Only a thimble, said Alice sadly. Hand it over here, said the dodo. Then they all crowded round her once more, while the dodo solemnly presented the thimble, saying, We beg your acceptance of this elegant thimble.
I've been to award ceremonies like that. You know, when you have your school end of year one where like you've got your head teacher who's just like, oh, I'd rather be at home with a glass of wine and have to hand out all these meaningless prizes to these children.
I think it was a good shout because we could have made the dodo like on acid or something, but we
Yeah,
actually gave him the
no.
right
Done
sort
really
of
well
we
there.
gave him the right archetype.
That was completely accentual.
Yeah.
Maybe we should guess what they're going to be like and just do the opposite next time.
And when the dodo had finished this short speech, they all cheered.
Hooray!
Hey!
Beep.
Lad birds.
Alice thought the whole thing very absurd, but they all looked so grave she did not dare to laugh, and as she could not think of anything to say, she simply bowed and took the thimble, looking as solemn as she could. The next thing was to eat the comfits. This caused some noise and confusion, as the large birds complained that they could not taste theirs, and the small ones choked and had to be patted on the back. I'm surprised some of them are not like mama birding it to the other ones. Like.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
That's
That'd be
funny.
disgusting.
However, it was over at last, and they sat down again in a ring and begged the mouse to tell them something more.
Oh, no, don't get another story from
What?
the mouse. They're never ending.
I know. You promised to tell me your history, you know, said Alice. And why is it that you hate C and D? She added in a whisper, half afraid that it would be offended again. Mine is a long and sad tale, said the mouse.
I mean, we knew it was the dog. It's the mouse.
Turning to Alice and sighing. It is a long tale, certainly, said Alice, looking down with wonder at the mouse's tail. But why do you call it sad? I see what they're doing.
Ah, she's
It's another punny
It's a
moment.
play on
she's
word.
either thick or going.
Yeah. Eh?
She's got bants now. She's very
Oh,
comfortable in her
she
shoes,
is.
which we thought were different sizes. But she is well and truly in them. Well done, Alice.
She kept on puzzling about it while the mouse was speaking, so that her idea of the tale was something like this, and it's shaped like a big old S shape on the page.
It's like a winding road.
It's a winding
kind
road
of
poem
verse.
kind of vibe. Yeah, yeah. So it might not make much sense. Fury said to a mouse that he met in the house, "Let us both go to law. I will prosecute you. Come, I'll take no denial. We must have the trial, for really this morning I've nothing to do," said the mouse to the cur. "Such a trial, dear sir, with no jury or judge, would be wasting our breath. I'll be judge, I'll be jury," said cunning old Fury. It's getting smaller. "I'll try the old cause and condemn you to death." You are not attending, said the mouse to Alice severely. What are you thinking of?
So wait, she's switched off and he's realised.
I have to, again, I'm with Alice.
Yeah.
I did not know. I wasn't sure if it was because we'd obviously dished, which was probably the right accent, I think.
Oh, wait, he did
has to
speak
be
French at the start.
He understood French, so we've...
Yeah, we've just called him
wild
being
assumption
French.
there.
But and also his history is of northern France
Well,
around
yeah,
the 11th
exactly.
century.
Seems
so
to be accurate. Good. I beg your pardon, said Alice very humbly. You had got to the 5th bend, I think. I had not, cried the mouse angrily.
Oh, wait, she can see the words.
Apparently. Why not? No, it's good.
That's trippy.
I had not, cried the mouse angrily. A knot, said Alice, always ready to make herself useful and looking anxiously about her. Oh, do let me help you undo it.
Wow.
I shall do nothing of the sort, said the mouse, getting up and walking away. You insult me by talking such nonsense.
She just loves a pun.
She loves a pun.
She's just all over that.
Yeah.
So she won't like wait for it to finish and then go, oh, you know when you said, it's just like, nah.
Yeah. Straight in. Straight in with her nonsense.
I didn't mean it, pleaded poor Alice. But you're so easily offended, you know. The mouse only growled in reply. Please come back and finish your story, Alice called after it. And the others all joined in chorus. Yes, please, do. But the mouse only shook his head impatiently and walked a little quicker.
So they finally shut him up.
Yeah.
And all it took was to look glazed and bored at him.
I'm surprised they weren't during the story about I don't actually know what happened, the bishop or something.
I think he was talking about which dukes had aligned themselves with which kings in that battle or whatever it was. Yeah.
What a pity it wouldn't stay, sighed the Lory, as soon as it was quite out of sight. And an old crab took the opportunity of saying to her daughter, apparently there's an old
Where
crab.
on earth have these people come from?
Can I do the noise of, like, snapping?
Oh, yeah. What does the crab sound like when she's talking to her daughter?
I don't know. Do you want to just make her like Sebastian?
There's a mother and a...
Can't be Sebastian.
The baby can be Sebastian.
Oh, do you mean Jamaican?
Yeah.
Brilliant. We'll just do a little Jamaican crab family. Okay, good. And an old crab took the opportunity of saying to her daughter...
I love how you went slightly French on the narrator just
I did a little bit. I can, and the old
Go back
crab
to the top
took
of
the...
the
Okay, wait. What a pity it wouldn't stay, sighed the Lory, as soon as it was quite out of sight. And an old crab took the opportunity of saying to her daughter, Ah, my dear, let this be a lesson to you to never lose your temper. Hold your tongue, ma, said the young crab, a little snappishly. You're enough to try the patience of an oyster. He's gone. We've lost him.
We've lost all of our listeners from Kingston.
Okay.
Oh my god!
I'd like to apologise.
It's just so great because like it's how my nan used to talk. So just like hearing that just brings me so much joy because I'm just imagining her over a pot with a spatula just pointing at me. Hold your tongue.
Your nan wasn't a crab, was she?
No, she wasn't.
Oh, it's good to know. I wish I had Aunt Dinah here. I know I do, said Alice aloud, addressing nobody in particular. She'd soon fetch it back. And who is Dinah, if I might venture to ask the question? Said the Lory. Alice replied eagerly, for she was always ready to talk about her pet. Dinah's our cat, and she's such a capital one for catching mice you can't think. And oh, I wish you could see her after the birds. Why, she'll eat a little bird as soon as look at it.
Know your audience, Alice.
Come
Come on.
along.
You've
You've done this twice now.
Developed. Like,
No,
she
she's
had
done-
some real sort of existential moments, and now she is offending every single living thing she meets. Maybe
Bang, bang, bang.
she was pushed down the hole
I
because
think
everyone hates her.
It just seems her cat seems to make her stupid. Every time she talks about her cat, she gets so
She
excited.
gets cat blind.
She
Yeah,
does.
It's true.
It's like talking to you about B.
That's my cat. She's very cute.
She is. She's got a dinner plate face.
This speech caused a remarkable sensation among the party. Some of the birds hurried off at once. One old magpie began wrapping itself up very carefully, remarking, "Any thoughts on a magpie? Or are we just going to...
do like a lad, like a really burly Cockney geezer.
Yeah.
What, lad? Like
Great.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Some of the birds hurried off at once. One old magpie began wrapping itself up very carefully, remarking, "I really must be getting home and the night air don't suit me throat." And the canary called out in a trembling voice to its children. Any thoughts on canaries?
Like something kind of unique-y, like falsetto-y. 'Cause it's small.
Okay. And a canary called out in a trembling voice to its children, "Come away, my dears! It's high time you were all in bed!" On various pretexts, they all moved off, and Alice was soon left alone.
Oh, again.
That's it.
Poor Alice.
Oh, I wish I hadn't mentioned Dinah, she said to herself in a melancholy tone. Nobody seems to like her down here, and I'm sure she's the best cat in the world. Oh, my dear Dinah, I wonder if I shall ever see you anymore.
To be fair, this is exactly what happens in real life.
Yeah, people
if you just talk about your cat,
their
people
pets,
will walk away
They will
from
leave you, they will unfollow you, and that's it.
It's like you don't have cats because you're alone. You're alone because you have cats.
And here, poor Alice began to cry again, for she felt very lonely and low-spirited. In a little while, however, she again heard a little pattering of footsteps in the distance, and she looked up eagerly, half hoping that the mouse had changed his mind and was coming back to finish his story.
The Duchess is back.
End of chapter.
Ah,
there it is.
That was chaos, man.
There was a lot of stuff going on.
I have no idea what is going
I
on.
couldn't even tell you, and I just read it.
Well,
Caucus
we
race.
should dissect.
So what's kind of funny is that like I've just read the first line of the Spark Notes in regards to what this is meant to be a metaphor about. And you remember I said caucus sounds political?
Yeah.
The first line is the caucus race provides a thinly veiled critique of the absurdity of English politics. And when you were talking about everyone running around with no start, no finish, no one knowing who's won, no sense of purpose, no sense of direction, I was about to jump in and say just like politics today, like elections today, and kind of didn't find a gap to do that. But that is actually what is apparently meant to be.
Scholars believe.
Yeah. And it's basically saying it's making a larger comment about the general meaninglessness of life. Like, you know, as in life, you just run around with no sense of purpose and then it ends randomly when you don't know when it's going to end, and that's it.
Absolutely.
Which is kind of morbid.
A little bit.
So there you go. Yeah, so Carroll is apparently implying that politicians do the same. With a great deal of pomp.
But unlike our government, we had too many sort of regional voices there.
It's true.
I should have made them all Oxbridge candidates.
Yes, exactly. Unless they're all from Eton, it doesn't fit the real world.
Quite right.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, I've got no idea what's going to happen in the next chapter.
Wow.
It was a real test for Josh's accents. And
You did brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly. If you don't get a voiceover job out of this, I don't know what I don't know what you have to do. Honestly, right. So that was chapter 3. Oh, that was a terrible pronunciation by me.
This is free black
That
coming
was
on.
chapter 3.
This is my Essex coming out.
Tune in next time for chapter 4.
Yeah, let me put my BBC voice on. Here you go. Put my teeth in.
No need.
So that was chapter 3. If you'd like to join the conversation, then you can contact us on thelazybookclub@gmail.com.
Or drop us a line on Twitter using our tag, which is @LazyBookClubPod.
And it's exactly the same on Instagram @LazyBookClubPod.
We'll definitely put some videos up of Josh doing some of his amazingly fantastic accents so that you can see the hand gestures and the general glory that...
The gestures are integral.
Yes, they are. They are definitely integral. So yeah, join us next week for chapter 4, which is... Do you want to give us the title?
The rabbit sends in a little bill.
Oh. Yeah, exactly. No idea what that's about. But there you go. Nice to see the drag queen back.
There it is.
So there you go. Join us next time for chapter 4.